Everybody, and welcome to episode number 137 of the Unknown Games Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and I'm joined by my co-host, the Game Duck, who's been playing some sad music for the past recent episodes. I don't know what's happened, but maybe it has to do with that ramen, that noodle. You'll know what I mean if you watch the stream. True sadness, sorrow, and pain. My co-host, Root 24. Alex.
What's up? I wasn't even sure if you could hear that actually. My soundboard got reset.
Oh really?
So all the output was getting output to the wrong routing section.
Yeah.
So I had to fix everything, and I was like, I don't even know if you can hear that, but I can see some of these aren't working. Yeah, okay. Some of these aren't working. Some of these are working.
Oh, it's mixed up. Some are to the right output, and some are just still.
Yeah, some of them aren't outputting properly. Can you hear this?
Crack you!
Yeah, I heard that. Obscene.
Okay, good. Yeah, just making
profanity.
Sure. Yeah. All right, gotcha. Good.
YouTube, we promise we're good kids. We're good kids. But yeah, this is the Unknown Games Podcast. We talk about video games and sometimes even our life in Japan, and of course the occasional fast food specialties here in Japan that get us jazzed up and hyper excited about health.
Spicy nuggets, baby.
See, that's the level of hype we get on. You don't get them spicy nuggets. They hit different. They just hit different.
They're good. Yeah, they're good.
They are good. And you know what else is good? We're gonna be talking about some Final Fantasy VII news, along with Dragon's Dogma news, which is probably not as long as the FF7 stuff, because that stuff was honestly we started this we started the kind of summer games fest off with Final Fantasy 16. And the Resident Evil stuff, but we started with the Final Fantasy, and I think we ended strong with Final Fantasy VII. All three Ever Crisis being shown, the Rebirth Part 2, and then also for Crisis Core with Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion.
Yeah,
and
I think they're adding some more stuff for Soldier as well, but I don't think anyone cares about that.
No one cared. Everyone was like, just get this out of the way. Everyone's like, get this out of the way. I think it was some Sid Highwind stuff, but we'll get into that. Well, maybe not as much that. But yes, anyways, go ahead and follow us on our socials. I'm at NinjaTrixta on Twitch, and you can follow my co-host Root24 at Root24. The numerals. What? It sounds so strange.
You said follow Root24 at Root24.
At Root24, exactly. I caught myself on that. No, follow Alex on Twitch at Root24.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/Root24.
There we go. And thanks, as always, if you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, any of those audio services, go ahead, leave us a review on those channels. And then if you're watching, thanks for watching on YouTube. If you're not watching, come on over here. We got a show for you every week.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear this now, we're probably not online right now, but for next time,
for
keep
next
that
time.
in mind. Yeah.
Unknown Games Podcast, sub to the channel. There we go. So we're gonna move on into this Final Fantasy VII news, and I've got it up on the website. I'm gonna just pull up everything right now because it was honestly it was about a 14-minute little show, I guess is what you want to call it. Where we were expecting something, right? We were expecting at least one thing from Final Fantasy VII, because there's a whole Final Fantasy VII themed event, but they could have let us down. They could have.
Well, I mean, I don't think they would have. That would be weird if they were just like, hey guys, 25 years, thanks. All right, peace. That's it.
Hey, I mean, because at the very beginning of this, and I was watching it live, it was 7 a.m. Here in Japan. And
yeah, I was sleeping for sure. Yeah.
I mean, the way they started this thing was essentially, it was cool to see the way that they montaged all the different compilation of FF, Final Fantasy VII, the compilation anyways. That was cool. And then they started talking about and we have goods for you. Here is some static arts figures,
You
and
know
I'm
what?
like, oh heck no.
This video actually, where it shows all the FF7 games,
Yeah, yeah.
looks a lot like the video that they showed at Sky Tree in early
What do
2020.
you want to bet it's a modified version of it? Because that was
That's
only at Sky Tree in
Tree.
Japan. No one,
Yeah.
yeah. And that event got
It
cut
looks
short too.
so, yeah, because it's. I mean, I went there. Well, we talked about it a little bit on the
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
like a long time ago. But yeah, early 2020, Sky Tree in Japan here had a collab event with FF7. They called it like the Midgar kind of like FF7 kind of thing, and the colors of Sky Tree changed to be like kind of a
Midgar,
greenish,
the Mako
yeah,
reactor, right? Yeah.
yeah, kind of green gray. And when you go up there, they were playing like FF7 music, like Aerith's theme and that kind of stuff. And they was like, "Oh, find the secret sky materia." I mean, that's kind of cool. And yeah, they played like a video in the viewing deck, just all around the windows. So it was like a 360 video, and it was honestly just so it was like FF7, Crisis Core, Advent Children, Dirge of Servius, Before Crisis, and at the time that was and then they were showing promo stuff for Remake, because at the time Remake actually wasn't even out yet, so they were showing like
That's true.
Remake's
Like
gonna be
the art,
out.
or like the character
and
stuff.
it was like a trailer
you know.
for Remake and then that kind of stuff. So,
So,
the
yeah.
video that it looked a lot like that basically.
And I remember you sent me the video of that, which was cool. Like honestly, if for people who could get to it before it got kind of cut short due to the pandemic and stuff, that was
And if
that was a
you
really
had to
cool
be in
thing.
Japan at the time, yeah,
You had to be very much in Japan. That was at the
Yeah.
time thing. And it's kind of crazy because this is going on, and they even mentioned this. Part 2 will be around 3 years from the release of Final Fantasy VII Part 1.
Yeah. So 3 years. Yeah, 3 years from now,
around 3 years. And that game, we forgot that it was technically delayed, like at the very last minute. I think it was a February release to then April.
I think it was
came
delayed.
out?
I believe it was delayed twice. It was
June.
supposed to have been out to the end of 2019, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been taking their time on it, and I'm just gonna flip on ahead to. Well, actually, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about Rebirth, or you want to talk about Reunion, or you want to talk about Ever Crisis?
Let's do. Oh my god, because it was Ever Crisis, then Reunion, and then Rebirth.
Okay. So Ever Crisis, they did announce that it will be coming out of. Well, sorry, it'll be in a beta. It'll be an open, like an early access type deal, on mobile. In October, if I believe, is when it'll be out, and it looks like it has all the events from Crisis Core and also from normal 7.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
From OG7.
From OG7,
Yeah.
These are like as far as we know, these are the remaster. What do we call these now? The true to story versions of the games.
Yeah, they don't deviate from the OG story, as far as we know.
As far as we know,
it'd be so crazy if they deviated from the story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as far as we know, like it's like they hoodwinked us again. Like they're all congruent.
For the second time. Man, that'd be crazy.
And what's special about these? Like I said, it's on mobile, but they do have like that kind of old PlayStation style. When you're walking around the map, it's a static background, but what you're kind of polygon character walking around kind of deal. But the battle system itself is
it looks so. I can't even figure out what's going on. It's turn-based, I think.
It's turn-based.
It's turn-based. Yeah.
But it looks very nice. Like it looks presentation wise up on par with with Remake in terms
close to Remake.
Close to yeah. So that's happening. Was there anything that you noticed about this though that stood out to you?
Definitely looks like we're going to get DLC costumes. If you skip to the part of the trailer where it shows Tifa and Aerith.
Yes, I'll put that back on there for you.
Doing attacks. It looks like it's like Tifa's wearing something that she has never worn before in the series, I believe.
Yeah, and Aerith, she's wearing a wedding dress. I don't know what she was.
And Aerith looks like she's wearing a wedding dress, and I'm like, those are deals. That has to be DLC.
That has to be DLC.
Yeah,
because they haven't
like
announced the pricing
costumes,
structure.
right?
Oh yeah. Even Cloud, I just realized Cloud is wearing a samurai uniform.
It's got to be some kind of like gacha mechanic, right? Has to be.
Yeah, Cloud has 3 swords in this picture.
Yeah.
But they're samurai swords. Which he's never had no samurai swords.
Yeah. So my guess. Here's my guess. My guess is that there's gonna be some kind of gotcha mechanic, and certain outfits are gonna be limited time gotcha outfits or whatever. Um, and I don't know if it's gonna be tied specifically just to outfits and that's it, or if there's gonna be certain limit breaks that are only gonna be available on those outfits. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Like
Uh,
honestly,
yeah.
these look good. I ain't gonna lie, Tifa look hot in this outfit. Well, she looks good.
Yeah, and the wedding dress and everything. Like,
The wo-
I wouldn't be 100% surprised if like, oh, there's a limit break or there's some ability or something, but it's tied to this gotcha
this
outfit.
gotcha outfit. And it seems like because we know that, like I said, it's not like you're gonna be walking around in these outfits as far as we know, but in the combat system itself, and if it is free to play, and I don't really know if they've
I mean,
detailed if it
they gotta
is.
make money somehow,
They
right?
have to make money somehow. This isn't just like, hey, we're gonna just give you a game
We give
of
you a free
three
game,
games for
yeah,
free. Here you go, just take it.
yeah.
That is a very good point. And even if these are gotcha, the only thing I don't want is for these costumes to be like, um, like SSR, super rare, but it's also tied to some abilities within the character. Like, oh, if you have
You know
this,
what? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it had abilities. You know what I mean?
that would because like in all honesty, you don't need these the higher abilities to actually complete these games. It's not like that's their focus, but it does sometimes make some of the grinding or some of the harder battles a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was seriously thinking like, oh, that's got to be a DLC thing, or gotcha thing. But I was like, what if there was like a spell or something, like a super special spell like we've never seen before in a mainline game? It's just kind of a mobile only kind of thing,
Right, right.
or a limit break or whatever. Like, what if they had some kind of special ability that was tied to this gotcha to incentivize you to keep rolling for that? Because you're like, oh, this boss fight is going to be so easy if I had that ability or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide for that. Like I said, closed beta test in 2022 sometime. And it's what the thing at the end of this trailer was really strange, and we talked about this a little bit in terms of we don't know exactly if it's not a remake, we don't know what's going to happen eventually because why is Sephiroth um
Short
why,
hair.
why I don't remember ever seeing a short hair Sephiroth like this is
No,
like this is younger.
yeah. I don't
This is
think.
yeah.
Yeah, that too, that too. I was like, who is that character? It's
Like
not Sephiroth. Is it one of the other
it
brothers from
it
Advent
doesn't
Children?
seem like it's because this stuff should be taking place
Before Advent Children, right?
before Advent Children. So
Yeah.
are we potentially gonna get like a look at like young Sephiroth or something?
Oh, that'd be a crazy. That
I
yeah.
don't know because his face is like he actually is young. This is a younger dude like completely, but it's just kind of like what 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 are y'all doing?
How crazy would it be if Ever Crisis also had a different story?
Here's something that I was thinking about. And I was listening to other podcasts and people break the trailers down and stuff like that. But if you think about it, uh, at some point in time, these games have to all make sense together now, right? They can't just be um, like, oh, I played the original, like the very original. Okay, that's a standalone thing. That is what it is. But when you enter this new trilogy of Final Fantasy VII, the new compilation, I guess is what we can call it, they all have to somehow lead to each other's stories, right?
I think we're looking at a multiverse situation.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
the very first game is the original canon that then remake deviates from or says
yeah.
this is the alternate timeline. That did happen, but here's the if. Here's the
Yeah, I
what
think
if.
it's like it's another. I mean, you can see that in. I mean, if you guys, if you finished remake, I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't, but if you
Spoilers.
finished remake, yeah, they continuously like. I mean, the final boss fight of Seven remake, it's pretty clear that
You're
you're
undoing the
changing fate. You're changing
events.
fate. Like
Yeah.
literally, you're fighting fate. You're literally fighting fate. So, like, I think the final boss of Seven remake makes it pretty clear that you're changing the timeline at that moment. The timeline is splitting right there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and we even see that, we even hear that, sorry, in the Rebirth trailer.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I think like it's like, oh, I saw you die. I think
And
that
I
character
think they
says.
say
Yeah.
it's Aerith who's saying that, right? Some people think it's Tifa, but I think it's Aerith confirmed, maybe.
I'm actually not sure. I'm not a
The,
1000% sure, but some characters is like, oh, I saw you die, meaning like, oh, whoever you're talking to now is now undead. So whoever
is
that character
undead.
is,
Yeah.
whoever the person is talking to, they've obviously not undied themselves.
Undied
But
themselves.
yeah, but in Seven Remake, spoiler for Seven. I mean, if you haven't played Seven Remake, you should probably stop listening. But like in Seven Remake, a lot of characters undie, right? Because there's Biggs and Wedge.
Can Jesse just come back just for me?
I think Jesse is probably gonna come back, right?
We just all of us homies, we just want Jesse back. Come on, we
Jesse
want
back,
Jesse.
yeah.
Jesse had it going
think,
on.
So Biggs and Wedge for sure are live now, right?
Yeah, yeah. In some
I'm
way.
pretty sure Jesse's gonna come back as well. So that's already will confirm two characters that should have died that aren't dead anymore.
Aren't dead, yeah.
And then there's the whole thing at the end of the remake with Zack, like not.
Oh yeah, the Zack thing, and we have to figure that somehow is going to change in the end of Crisis Core Reunion.
So you think the ending of Reunion is now going to change to match up to now move itself into remake timeline instead of being in OG timeline?
That makes the most sense, right? I mean,
because if Zack dies, that moves you to OG7. If Zack lives, I think that moves you to remake timeline.
Right. Yeah,
maybe Reunion will have two endings. Actually, maybe there'll be two endings.
Yeah, I who knows? Here's my theory, and I guess we'll talk about Crisis Core before we get to our theories. So Crisis Core is, and we both like, I'm like firm on it being a remaster. I know you're thinking it's a remake, and it's so in between. I don't know what you call this because they clearly they redid the cutscenes in terms of like
they redid all the models. Yeah,
everything is redone in this game. The combat system looks to be the exact same. You got the BMW.
It's the same, yeah.
Everything looks like it operates the same. It probably controls better because you have another analog stick. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, you can probably turn the camera now.
And it probably doesn't control a little bit clunky in some ways. But it's not as high fidelity in terms of a remake as FF7 in terms graphically. But I think it serves its purpose. You know.
They redid all the models. Did you watch? I sent you like a comparison video, right? Did you look at that?
Yeah.
So like Bahamut looks so different. Yeah, Bahamut is just like completely redone.
Like some of them are completely night and day.
I think they must have had to redo, at the very least they would have to redo the textures, because like if you just upscale PSP assets, they're gonna look like,
look at that background.
Right.
I mean, I think they did the how would you say, like, what is not passable or anything, but they did like what is needed for this game, right?
They probably did what they did for 10, where they redid the models. Yeah, they redo the models and then also like touch up the background.
That makes, honestly, that's probably makes sense. Yeah. Redid the models and touch up the background, and then because like all the cutscenes as far as they've shown are like spot on. Like it's not nothing deviates from what it is. The dialogue is all like unchanged, even from like what I remember, because this game is like Crisis Core on PSP. It is a very simple, straightforward game. There's not a lot of deterring that happens. Everything is like very straightforward, and the story is very straightforward too. So some of those lines you kind of like remember, some like what you saw you do remember when you saw it. But now at least you know what, it's coming to every system, including Switch. So now people who, and it's kind of weird though, Xbox still doesn't have FF7 Remake, but they're gonna get Crisis Core.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But no, everyone can experience it. Honestly, I love Zack. He's my favorite. I mean, he's the template for Cloud. That whole story. But I enjoyed the story. Did you play? I think you told me you played a little bit of it.
Yeah, I played it. I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
So like when it comes out, I'll buy it. And I mean, I think I have to buy it because if the ending changes, like I'm gonna need to like know the new ending.
And I'm gonna go finish it up on PSP. I'm very close to the end of it. I don't know. Is there anything that we got from this trailer in terms of like what might actually end up happening or going forward?
They don't show anything that we haven't seen already before. So like we know There's nothing. There's no hints that they're gonna change anything. It's gonna be the same story as far as we know.
Right, right. And this is coming out this winter. I believe I do have the website for. Yeah, yeah. So the Japanese website is up with just some screenshots, information, and things that they have on the game. But yeah, like you said, it's not. It says in Japanese it's not a simple remaster, but it's one that's kind of evolutionized. It's coming. You know,
Yeah. What does it say in English?
I tried to find the English site and I did not find anything. I think I just was a horrible person and could not find English for this site. I
Crisis
don't
Core
know.
Reunion. Crisis
Like,
Core Reunion. Yeah, I can only find the
it
Japanese
kept taking me to the
page.
Japanese site. And I'm like,
Is there no English page
there
for
has to
Crisis
be an
Core?
English page. What's crazy is like the character stuff is. Oh, I guess because their names are in English, but
Oh, here's one for EU.
that's probably the best we got then. And for people who don't know, Crisis Core is essentially the starting point of Final Fantasy VII. It's the origin stories for Sephiroth, or yeah, close enough is we're gonna get to
For
origin
Sephiroth and Zack, and
and
explains
Zack.
how Zack got the Buster Sword. It wasn't actually his to begin with.
Yep, it was Angeal's, and then it also describes the relationship between him, Angeal, Genesis, and Aerith. Actually, and
Oh
Aerith
yeah, and
and
how
Zack.
Zack meets Earth. So the
Yeah.
English, the EU site calls it a true remaster that follows the original's narrative. So there's no like they don't say it's gonna change or anything.
No, no mincing words there.
The graphics have been converted to HD. Obviously, that makes sense to me. The dialogue is now fully voiced, and now there's a new arrangement for the soundtrack.
Which is nice. I mean, I'm wondering if they're gonna get old Gak to lend his voice again to this game.
In the Japanese version.
Yeah, for the Japanese version, I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, it
Maybe.
does. It does. It says Gak voice cast. Yeah, he's
Oh,
on it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, Genesis, freaking picking up. What was it like the stage play and all that stuff? Reading that, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I think that stage play is actually they actually have it right. You can actually find it somewhere. The full Genesis stage play.
I have no idea.
Loveless. Sorry, Loveless. There it is. Whatever, man. I don't know. But yeah, yeah. That's not Ever Crisis, but Crisis Core Reunion.
Right.
Good stuff there all around. I don't think I've missed anything other than you can go play it on every system: PS4, PS5, Xbox Series SX, and all that. Xbox One. And when we
Yeah,
move on
in a couple of months, I guess.
yeah, sometime in winter. It just says this winter. We don't know 100% when. But yeah, the big one, of course, Rebirth. That's the candle, the big one. Thoughts? What do you got? What do you got? You can start anywhere you want to on Rebirth. Anywhere you want to. 'Cause there's a lot.
Looks good, I guess.
You
I don't
guess?
know.
We've been
Yeah, I
waiting
mean, it's
for this.
episode.
Maybe
It's gonna be good. Like, I'll play it. Obviously, I mean, I liked remake, so I'm pretty sure I'll like Rebirth. I don't know what to say other than like, we left Midgar, right? So now we're gonna be
Yep.
traveling,
It's the-
in the world. So I guess the biggest question that people are gonna be asking is like, how is the game gonna play out? Because in the original, once you left Midgar, you could kind of roam the world. You could get your stupid ass sand buggy and just drive around for as long as you wanted to, as long as the terrain lets you.
yeah, yeah.
You can go to towns. If you weren't supposed to be at that town for story reasons, you could still enter the town. Just nothing would really happen. You could talk to people and leave, but it wouldn't trigger an event, right?
Right, right, right.
So there is obviously a specific path you need to take in OG7, but you can wander the world and kind of just like explore, I guess. So I want to know once we leave Midgar and Rebirth, do we get that freedom? Even if you can't really do anything with the open world, can we still wander?
Dude,
You know what I mean?
can we wander? I mean, because we did get. I mean, we talked about how 7 Remake Part 1 is essentially kind of a linear strip. You can't really wander too far off in anything, and
Yeah,
it's
you
very
can't
timed
like
out.
you can't like not do the story, basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say that they're going to do something similar to this, but give you that free roaming part of a world map. Because we see them going to Nibelheim.
I mean, they
We
could
see
do
that
it
there's.
with.
It says
I
like there's
mean,
1,000 meters to the next objective.
we could do it with side quests, because FF7 Remake had side quests. You would get to a town for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and then there'd be like 4 or 5 people that were like, kill 4 rats, and you're like, all right, sure, whatever, man.
That's
Um,
true. Yeah.
so they could do that with the open world, where instead of going to a town and seeing 4 side quests, it's just like there are 30 side quests in a bunch of towns, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to go find them. Maybe you can go into a town, and maybe it won't progress the story, but you can still go to that town and like kill 4 rats for some dude, I guess.
Almost like the wall
So
market section, a little bit.
yeah, but just
I
like
mean,
for the whole
but for the whole world,
whole
for the,
world, yeah.
for the whole world. But yeah, I mean, like it's definitely got um, some distance between some of the b- between some of the objectives, at least from what we saw here at the beginning. And we do know this is running on Unreal Engine 5 now, so that's nice. You know, nice little trinket. Good thing.
Yeah, okay. So Zack is not dead, right? Zack is alive, right?
As far as we know in this version, in this story, and it says like what is fact and what is fiction. I think because we do know that this is officially a trilogy. This is part 2 in the trilogy, where we have things start getting muddy, right? In the trilogy, the part 2 is like where it's kind of like, oh, we got the game together.
It's open water now, because like
Yeah.
in remake, and I think this was the biggest twist that they could have done, where its remake starts out the same as OG7, and then it just slowly starts to go further away.
And I feel almost. Oh, continue.
Yeah, but like now that we know that remake has split, like the second part here, it's like anything could happen, and like you know what I mean? Because like they've already established that they're like, hey, we can do whatever we want now, because we're changing the story.
That's right.
So,
You know
like,
what? I just realized the reason why Aerith or Tifa, whoever in there, says like, "Oh, you saw me dead. Are you like doubting me? Are you doubting I'm real?" Because they all saw those visions.
They all saw the flashes from
like
the OG timeline, yeah.
yeah. So like that's of course happening. And where we stop at right here, we see it's actually Zack and Cloud at the construction of Midgar.
So this is the end of Crisis Core.
Right.
When Zack should have died.
He should have died. Right.
Yeah.
Instead, now him and Cloud have escaped, and yeah, you can see the construction equipment, and they're there. The question is,
Yeah.
we got this white feather going through every scene.
I think that's definitely like, I don't know what that is. Like, could be glimpses of other timelines, maybe. I don't know, right?
We have the black feather in the black feather is in all the not Advent Children, but the remake stuff, which we assume it's just Sephiroth, right? I've heard theories, of course. This could be Aerith. It could just be representing her because she's the one speaking through most of the trailer, or in some crazy fan fiction, Angeal is alive. He always shows up in Crisis Core with white.
Oh, with a wing, right?
He has the white wings.
Yeah.
I don't know if that were to happen, that'd just be weird. It'd be weird. But we don't know. Like I said, it's open waters. Anything can happen. Anything is off. Like,
yeah, because they already
can go.
established at the end of remake that they're like, we're gonna change the story. So like now that they've already established that, and we're on to part 2, it's just like I can't even really guess what's gonna happen in Rebirth.
I'm wondering, are we even playing the same? Will there be some weird part where we play 2 timelines?
In the remake trilogy?
Yeah. Because this is like a flashback. Well, I guess it's not playing 2 timelines, but this, I assume if we were to play Zack, I assume maybe, who knows, what if we get to play Zack? That means we're playing not 2 timelines, but two parts of the same timeline, like past and present in this alternate timeline. I'm wondering if that's something that might happen.
Oh, like we get to play as Zack before,
yeah, like the events after this. Or
I mean, there's so many questions now.
Who
I mean,
knows?
if Zack doesn't die, that opens up a lot of questions, because like that would
That
ruin like what happens to Cloud in that case, right?
yeah, it essentially changes the entire like Cloud's entire being basis
Yeah,
almost.
if Zack doesn't die, then Cloud shouldn't have the Buster Sword, and he shouldn't have false soldier memories. Spoilers
Exactly.
for
For
seven if you haven't played
7
it. 25. You're
25 years ago.
25 years late, but you're 20. You have 25
Happy
years. Yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. But Zack doesn't die, then like Cloud shouldn't think he's soldier. He should think he's or he should be third class, not first class, right?
Right, right. Which is
So
what has me thinking in a weird way that, and I've always felt like this game, we like after the events of remake, we have these ripples, right? And it depends on how big these ripples get towards the end of the game, or the trilogy. I kind of want to think that they're still gonna like end up where they didn't actually change fate. Like the ending actually still kind of happens, but how they got to that ending was all changed. It was all messed up. But
it's
every
like which ending are you talking about? The ending where they fight Sephiroth in the Northern Crater, or the ending where Maker gets destroyed?
the Northern Crater ending, I believe. Yeah, the OG
So just the
ending.
fun, just a final boss encounter where they have to chase Sephiroth down. He shows up. He's at the Northern Crater. You go to Northern Crater. You fight Sephiroth,
Yeah,
and he summons Meteor, and you stop Meteor with Holy. Like you're talking about those
that
events.
yeah that those events. Maybe they come back into play. I have to assume Sephiroth is because at the very beginning of this trailer, there Cloud's like he's planning. What's his end game? We don't know what he's trying to do still. So
Well,
Sephiroth is still trying to do his thing, but
I
how
still
is he
think
doing it?
Sephiroth is trying to destroy the the planet. What's the planet called in Seven? It doesn't matter. The planet.
Let's call it the
Anyway,
planet. I
sure. So
forgot what it's called actually. Let me look it up.
I still think his ultimate goal is to destroy the planet, but I think like my theory is that Sephiroth is somehow aware of the events from the other timeline,
Oh, it's
from OG
Gaia.
timeline. Is it Gaia? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I somehow think that Sephiroth from Remake is aware of the events from OG7. Like he kind of knows like what happens and how he like eventually fails.
Yeah, it seemed like the way he kind of was orchestrating the events of part one, right? Like he was in this behind the scenes all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
doing
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, manipulating
I
the events.
I think my theory is that he knows what happened in the original timeline somehow.
Which would also means that he knows he, like you said, he was defeated. So now he's
He's
rewriting
like
it.
he's
He's
trying
trying
to
to
change
change.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, it's really nice. I know there's a lot of people who aren't exactly the biggest fans of the way that it does divert from the original, but at the same time, it allows us to have these conversations, and not know exactly what's gonna happen, and
Mm.
there's fun in that, right?
Yeah, I mentioned this before, like last year, 2 years ago, I guess. But like, I like how they changed the story because like if they kept the story 100% the same, I would be like, oh, this is cool. I've played FF7 before, but now it's really cool to see like FF7 in as a modern game. That's exciting. But now that they've changed the story, I get to experience it like it's completely 100% a brand new game because I don't know the story. Like I'm experiencing it for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
and
to
it's
me, that's really fun. Like I get to speculate. We get to talk about Rebirth and we get to guess and that kind of stuff. So
we get like in every part of it, from the from the title of the games to just it's so awesome because like at the end of 7 remake, and I know we talked about it, like I saw Zack and I started squealing, like I actually squealed at home, like, oh dude, like I
that Zach
was
like didn't that he's like that is also a twist. The fact that he didn't
yeah,
die,
and I was just sitting there like,
yeah.
what is this, like my mind is blown because
So
like
when he didn't die, I was like, is this a like a illusion? Like, am I like does he still die? But for some reason we think he did. Like,
he
what is
doesn't.
happening here? We
And
don't.
it's fun to see what's happening. And I will say that the director of this game is not Nomura. I assume he's still doing some little
He's
bits of.
probably producer still,
He's
right?
producer, I think. I kind of want to go back to I want to go to check out the website because the co-director or the guy who was, I forgot what he was actually in charge of remake, is actually the one who's directing this. So the guy who was kind of basically at the midway point or whenever Nomura kind of started working on other stuff, who took over, that's the guy who's now doing the action director on this one. So
All right.
um, they're doing work. It's coming out next winter.
It says next winter. The trailer does, yeah.
Whatever that could mean. Same way that Final Fantasy 16 is next summer. Next summer actually is pretty simple.
There's no month given, so.
So yeah, we've got a 3-month period. So hopefully, if we get, I think the dream is everyone's like, hey, we get 2 Final Fantasies in 1 year, similar to this year how we got 2 Pokemon. We got Arceus in January.
January and October.
Is it November? Is it November?
Yeah, November.
Yeah. For Scarlet and I want to say Scarlet and Nexus every time.
Scarlet and
and Violet. God.
Yeah.
Scarlet Nexus. Why you gotta do that to me? So that's what's happening in the world of Final Fantasy. Anything else you want to point out and that they revealed, or anything that they might have said that you took note of?
Well, they confirmed that it's going to be a trilogy, right?
Right.
So my question is, what is the third game going to be called? Because we have Remake, Rebirth, and now I suspect it's going to be a re-something.
It has to be re-something. I know a lot of people.
I was gonna say reunion, because that makes sense in the context of the video game, of the story rather. But they've already used it for Crisis Core, so I don't think they would use it again.
I've been hearing like funny things because. So like Maximilian dude, I follow him a lot, but he actually like a year or 2 years ago, whatever, actually called the name Rebirth. There was like, what do you think the next one's gonna be called? He's like, Rebirth. So there's like a video of people just freaking out, like
Rebirth, yeah.
And then it was Rebirth. And then another person was like Reunion, which Reunion was the kind of go-to because that's all.
Because it makes sense. Because if you played 7 before and you know the story of 7, Reunion makes a lot of sense, right?
It makes a lot of sense. Also with Advent Children, that's like the
with
word.
Advent Children too, right? Yeah.
Reunion. Let's all get reunited. Oh, I'm like, okay, yeah. I don't know. What was the third one? Like, I feel like the third one has to be something where it's like, it's correcting everything. Like, so the first one is like, we're remaking it. It's change. The second one is like rebirth. It's like
whatever that means, right?
Completely new now. And then the third one has to be like something that brings it together, not as an ending, but like, I've heard Redux. Like for me, I think Redux or Return.
Return might work.
Return. Return could work. Someone was saying Requiem.
I don't know.
Return. It has to be an RE word. I'm going with Redux for whatever reason.
I like reverse.
Reverse. We could even get the re.
Oh man,
that would be crazy if they did.
I don't know. Something. I can't really think of it. I'm gonna say return because they say return a lot too. Like, return to the planet kind of thing. So
that. Hey, you know what? That honestly does sound like a good name because, like, you're right. Everything returns to the planet. Everything does. Also, the name of the planet is also just called Planet. It's before it's Gaia, then it's renamed to modern day. It's just Planet.
Because they say that a ton of times in the story where they're like, return to the live stream or something like that. Like, she returned to the live stream. Like, when Air's dad dies, like, he returned to the live stream. Yeah. So they say return a ton of times. So it could be
Return is actually really good. It's not that long either. It's about the same amount of syllables as like,
remake,
2 syllables. Remake,
Rebirth,
reborn, return. Or
Reborn would be good too, maybe. But no, that's no.
That's
Rebirth.
Yeah,
you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we're almost there. It's a trilogy, which means that I believe this by 2027 or 2028 for everyone who's holding out. I know one of my friends is holding out for it to be finished.
For like all 3 games to come out.
Yeah, to play it all together.
Years? Oh my god, 8 years!
Just go play. Can you imagine? I mean, hey, you waited 25 years almost for anyway.
Can you imagine? Can you I'm not gonna play Remake until all 3 parts are out. I'm like, holy shit, you waited 8 years?
Hey, you'll get the full game at that. But some people think of it that
I remember.
way, like, I'll get the full game.
I remember someone saying that about the Evangelion movies. Actually, I remember someone saying that. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch them until all of them are out. And then one guy was just like, "Are you kidding me?
Just watch it.
Do you know how long you'll be waiting? Are you kidding me?"
How it's nah. You need to watch that, please watch.
Wait, when did the first Eva movie came out? Like the first new Eva movie came out. When did that one? That was like 2000 and.
You talking about like whatever, you will not succeed or whatever?
You cannot. You are not alone, or you are the man.
It probably is. You are parentheses not in parentheses alone. It probably is something like that.
Rebuild. So Rebuild. Okay. So You Are Not Alone was 2007 for Japan.
So that's 12,
And then
13 years.
and then Thrice Upon a Time was March 2021.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine being that person? Just, nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad until the last movie. The last movie is what really got
That
him.
gap was crazy,
The gap to the last movie
man.
was some next level craziness.
That was like a 10-year gap. That was like a 10-year gap.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
because You Are Not Alone is 2007. You Cannot Advance was 2009, and then You Cannot Redo was 2012. That's not as bad, but then from You Cannot Redo to Thrice Upon a Time was like 9 years.
Crazy. I guess kind of.
Anyways, if you're one of those people who are waiting for all the Eva movies to come, you can now watch them.
You can watch them, and then you can start waiting for something else.
He said he's done Eva though, right? He's like,
he's
I'm
done.
not doing
Yeah,
this
I think
anymore.
it's done. I think it's
And
finally.
he was legit like
He moved on
he was
to
like, I quit.
What was it? Shin
Yeah.
Kamen Rider? Was it? Oh, Ultraman. Shin Ultraman. That's what he.
Oh,
he
yeah,
did
yeah,
next
yeah.
up. But Nomura did. I mean, all the directors and producers, everyone, all the original crew that were involved with the game, gave some statements on Twitter. The most interesting part, maybe from Nomura's side, is that that of course he's involved in all four of the titles. That they are, they each serve a purpose. They all have high quality depictions of Final Fantasy VII's world and characters. But Rebirth, he said, is being designed so that people can enjoy this game whether they know the original story or not. In fact, new players might even enjoy starting their Final Fantasy VII journey with the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Cloud and his friends embark on a new journey in this game, and I believe that the scenes that they witness after leaving Midgar will give players a fresh new experience.
It's starting with Rebirth?
Yeah, he said you might even enjoy it more if you just start with Rebirth.
It's like, he's like, don't play Remake, just play Rebirth?
You might be able to just get away with this Rebirth, man. He's like, I can't wait to share the intention behind the naming of the first title, Remake, and the second title,
I think we figured it out, yeah.
In time, I hope they reveal what the third title will be called. You do it, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we figured out what Remake means at this point, but yeah.
But yeah, it seems like this is something. It was kind of tied into the development process because they were developing this through COVID, but everything is kind of like their production schedule is super on point. Hamaguchi, that's Naoki Hamaguchi-san. That is the current director, who is officially there. Development is already in their full production. Yep. And he's like excited that it's a 3-part trilogy. And we are developing it with all the passion and dedication needed to create an original game and plan to deliver the ultimate gameplay and world building experience. Also, this game has some Capcom designers for combat.
Oh, really?
Apparently, yeah. Remake also had Capcom designers for their combat, so that's why we're getting good combat systems. Thanks, Capcom.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I need to get a PS5 now. Like, I have to get a PS5 before this game comes out because it's gonna be exclusive to PS5 for probably a year, right?
Yeah, exclusive PS5, and it's going to probably we follow up on Epic. Maybe they'll do Steam and Epic this time because it seems like the Steam port the PC port on Steam is like the same as the Epic one. From what I've been hearing, it's not that different.
It's probably yeah. I don't. I mean, it would be weird for them to change it in some way because
they had like stuttering issues or something. It had like some...
Yeah, it has to be. It should be really similar though because at the end of the day, Epic Games and Steam, those are just storefronts. They're not platforms, right? So
right.
The platform is PC. So I mean, it should really be the same. But yeah, I'm gonna guess that 7 Rebirth is going to be exclusive for at least 1 year to PS5, and then we will see it on PC perhaps later. 7 Remake got 2 years because I think they got a renewed exclusivity when Intergrade came out, right? They boosted it for another year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can only assume that maybe they have an Intergrade like chapter or a DLC type.
I don't know. Do you want them to? I never played the Yuffie chapter yet. I was thinking about it on PC.
I really want to. I've heard that it actually
good.
does.
It's like an extra 20 hours, I think.
Yeah, and it actually advances the story.
That's chunky, yeah. 20 hours.
Yeah.
On top of 40, so it's not bad.
I think it gets into a little bit of Vincent's story. It sets up that stuff, and then it keeps going a little bit. Like the main cast, I didn't realize this, but the main cast, like Aerith and the crew, they're actually in it. Like it shows them where they're going as well. So it's actually like.
But they're not playable, right?
But I don't think they're playable. They're not playable. Though.
Okay.
It just shows like what they're doing, and like where you leave off with them. So it's cool that they have something like that. I don't know unless it's not needed, then no. But if it's needed to like kind of bridge a character or a gap or something like that, then sure, I don't mind it.
The argument would be is like instead of planning a DLC chapter, just put that into the
Into the next game.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Because like I don't want them to use integrate I don't want them to use Rebirth integrate to extend Sony's exclusivity or anything like that, you know what I mean?
You know, the crazy thing is that I'm almost 100% sure the game that we don't know how they're going to do, or maybe two games we don't know how they're going to do. There's that mobile game we talked about, that mobile the Turks game.
Oh, Before Crisis.
Before
BC,
Crisis.
yeah.
I assume that's just going to be in
Ever Crisis.
In Ever Crisis. But then there's Advent Children,
which is a movie,
which is a movie. I'm wondering how they decide to handle that. That's the actual one. Like, do we get a game out of this, or is it just a cutscene, like a movie? You just like, what is that one?
Here's the thing about Advent Children, where if you take the parts of Advent Children that would normally be a game, there's probably not that much game to it.
You think that could be the DLC in between?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, for Integrate, Rebirth Integrate.
Yeah. I
mean, that's assuming that story is even still relevant still, because it could just not exist anymore, you know, in the new timeline.
That's a good question. I think the only thing that can answer that is if we see any hints of it, because that is a very different time, because that is after the event
the defeat of Sephiroth. That's after the defeat of Sephiroth. Yeah, so
which would mean that dude would have to see himself being defeated not just once, but also see himself being defeated again after bringing his DJing clones together to then make himself
again to die again. That fight sucked, man.
That fight that Advent Children fight was kind of hyped, the way they were just kind of climbing up. Like the fight itself was kind of cool.
They were fighting in the sky.
The choreography was hype, bro. But then like the actual, like, it was the ultimate friendship wins fight. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, I'm gonna boost you up, man. Let me throw you to the sky.
That was Bahamut. They were fighting Bahamut when they were boosting each other.
Oh, okay.
That was
Bahamut, that was friendship.
Yeah.
That was friendship. Yeah. That was friendship. Anyways, I don't know if we've missed anything. If you do want to go and check out some more things on Final Fantasy VII, they are doing these kind of chapters of kind of like behind the scenes of what, like, during the game, during the dev time of just kind of going through and showing like, hey, this is why this happened, or this is what we were thinking about, you know, from the directors, staff, people who are working on the game. So you just go to Square Enix website. I think it's on their blog, but you can just look up Final Fantasy VII Remake Revisited Chapter 1, The Destruction of Mako Reactor 1.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to buy it now that it's on Steam, but like, I don't know, man. The AI Somnifaw sequel comes out this week, and I want to play that.
It's a hard time to be a gamer, as always.
I mean, I already beat it, but yeah, I'd be doing it just mostly for the Yuffie content, and I guess just replaying
and
7.
It.
I mean, it's a fun game, but
I'm still holding out to get a PS5 and then just play it.
On Integrate?
Yeah, so I can just keep my save.
Oh, because you have the free upgrade or whatever.
The free upgrade, yeah. Which I guess, honestly, it seems like it doesn't matter too much. You really can just start fresh, and they'll probably just start you with X amount of armor, like a standard loadout, right? They'll give you a standard loadout, and then they'll give you whatever that level is that you need, and you just go. Mm-hmm. Just start fresh. It makes the most sense. But yeah, Capcom, about 30 minutes later, after the Final Fantasy conference started, did their Dragon's Dogma.
Was this the same day?
Same day, 30 minutes later.
Can you imagine being Capcom just being like, oh, guys, why did we even bother?
Well, I mean, what was cool about this video for Dragon's Dogma, the 10th anniversary, is that it was honestly just a really earnest documentary about the thought process
Dragon's Dogma, yeah,
of how it came to be. The fact that Itsuno-san, who's worked on Devil May Cry, Street Fighter 2 Alpha, he's one of the OGs, like one of the long-standing people who's been there. And this game, I didn't realize it took so long to kind of come into being, but they actually thought about this the same time they were thinking about Monster Hunter. He was like, yeah, Capcom approached, our team. We're like, hey, we need to make some hits for consoles. And he was like, I've always wanted to do this kind of fantasy RPG with action in it. And at that same time, another team was working on Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter PS2 came out a while ago. That's a long time.
PS2 was at this point like 14 years, 15 years.
Yeah. So it's
something like that, right?
Yeah, and it seems like every once in a while he would try to get the project going again. He tried to get it going again around Devil May Cry 3, but then took the director spot there, and then also worked on Devil May Cry 4. And then after DMC4, that's when he actually was able to, him and his team over drinks was like, you know what, let's just do it. Over drinks, it always happens over drinks. And so that's basically what that video was, all to lead up to. Showing some behind the scenes stuff, early concept footage, getting stuff from their ears, talking, all for them to take the shirt off.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the only way I can put it, because it's like the last minute is them just all taking their shirt off to reveal Dragon's Dogma 2.
They're like not topless. They're not topless.
They're not topless. They're not topless.
Have like tattooed Dragon's Dogma 2 tattooed onto their chest.
Peter Moore, Halo and GTA type deal, like.
Oh man, that was crazy. Yeah.
That was crazy. But yeah, we're getting Dragon's Dogma 2. It is in development. That is all they said. There is no anything outside of a logo. But it's really cool because a lot of people were really wanting this game. It was leaked in the Capcom leaks. It was probably leaked in the Nvidia leak too.
They did say Dragon's Dogma 2. That's right. And we to get back to to go back to I guess the Nvidia leak. They did say Dragon's Dogma 2, and we're just like, really? And now it's confirmed. So man, that thing is like, what's the track record for that leak, by the way? Are they like perfect score so far?
They've missed a couple, or they just haven't come out. But we did have the Capcom
like
leak
Titanfall
too.
3, right?
Yeah, Titanfall 3. Unless that is coming out and we just don't know about it yet.
Oh my god, if that was announced, and like that's gospel, the modern day gospel right there.
That's literally some Bible book right there. Someone's like, oh
yeah,
my goodness.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait a minute,
prophecy.
I just realized at the very end of this trailer, when it reveals the logo, this is too funny. Dragon's Dogma 2 ESRB rating pending, likely mature 17 plus.
Yeah, you've never seen that before? They started adding that now.
I didn't know. I have not seen.
Yeah,
that.
they started adding that where it's like probably gonna be whatever. So.
I haven't. Yeah, it's the first time I've seen that. Huh. But for anyone who's wondering what Dragon's Dogma was, it is a fantasy RPG developed by Capcom.
And you okay, buddy?
I'm like, I need some water. Where's my water at? But it's essentially, this is the time when Dragon Age was popular. When that BioWare RPG was at peak, this is when this game came out. So a lot of people were like, seems like a Japanese version of Dragon Age. But the difference being you could attack in a very action combat oriented manner, like Devil May Cry, and you could climb on the monsters and stab them. And
that was cool. Pawns. Yeah, climbing the monsters and stuff.
Yeah, and you had pawns, like your NPCs party members that you got, that you could kind of customize, make them your own, and trade them to other people. So it felt like this kind of shared world, and everyone had their pawns that you'd be like, hey, almost like if you help someone out in Dark Souls or something, right? When you invade their world to help them, just imagine that being your pawn instead of you, a player. Someone helps you, and it's a cool system. But I mean, hey, I don't know. Did you play any of it, or Dark Arisen?
I played precisely 10 minutes of Dragon's Dogma. That's it.
I played the demo,
and I was like, cool, and then I stopped playing because it was like a PS Plus game actually. I think on the PS3 a while back.
Oh, okay.
And I say a while, I mean like a while back. This is just after I had moved to Japan, I think, and I just joined PS Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this game's cool, and I'll get to it later. And then I never got to it. So
I mean, I want to go and actually play it before maybe the end of this year and just finish it, because
I think it's on sale right now.
I own Dark Arisen. I've owned it for like 10, 5, 6, 7 years.
What platform do you own it on? What platform?
Steam.
Oh, PC then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PC. Yeah, yeah,
It's like $5 right now. Holy shit,
yeah.
man.
It is on sale for $5 now, and I believe Steam Summer Sale is coming up 3 days, like the 24th of June.
Is it really?
Yeah, we haven't actually had the summer sale yet. Is that crazy? Because we've had a
I
bunch
feel
of
like
other
it's all
sales
too
happen.
early for the summer sale, no? Is it always in June? I can't remember.
Uh, June, July, sometime, but it's feels like it's about time. I mean, it's almost July anyways.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're getting close to it, so grab those games, grab them all, play the backlogs, whatever you got. I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Anything else you want to say? We want to talk about spicy nuggets? I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess spicy nuggets. McDonald's in Japan, they have the spicy nuggets right now, and they're good. They're real good.
They're not as good as the what was the previous spicy nugget? Like is it black pepper nuggets or something like that?
Oh, you like those more?
Those were I like those more, but I like the sauce for these better.
Yeah, the Sanshu Togarashi is like so damn good.
Bro, it was I was like, oh man, this because it actually has spice to it. Like it was legitimately like
it was like a bit more
spicy.
than what I was expecting. Yeah. So there's two sauces right now. McDonald's, there's the what is it like the taru taru lemon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then which means like lemon tartar, I guess. And then Sanshu Togarashi, which means just like 3 chili pepper, something like that.
Yeah,
and
3 pepper.
I only tried the chili pepper one, but man, it was good. It was like way better than what I was even expecting.
It was, it actually made me like the spice got to me for a little bit, and I was like, oh crap, like.
Oh wow, this is actually spicy.
It was actually spicy. So I was just like, oh, hey, you know what? More power to them. I'm trying to find them right now. Yeah, they're good. I mean, that's the one thing like I gotta say that Japan does right is McDonald's whenever they rotate, it's usually kind of spot on. Like I don't think we've had too many crazy bad ones or anything like that.
I mean, I am not a big fan of anything teriyaki because it's just really messy and sweet.
It is always messy, yeah.
So right now we got the nuggets, and I think for burgers we also got some new burgers right now. Like a triple cheese, some spicy double cheeseburger, and then some other thing right now.
There's a spicy double cheeseburger. There's a spicy.
Yeah, take a look. Go to the campaign, and I think one of the new. It's like 3 new burgers right now.
That's gonna be coming up. Oh, I need to. Mine only has like the Grand Mac, the Big Mac, Grand Mac. So far. Oh wait, let's see more.
There should be.
Can I see more? Milk the McShake. Oh, ooh. Sorry, I got like really excited right there. I see it now. The new type.
There it is.
Oh my goodness, this is some Eva level crap. The new type.
White. Yeah, so we have the red garlic teriyaki, the spicy double, and then the new type white triple cheeseburger.
Oh my god, that white one look good. The white triple cheese. We've had the kata double cheese.
We had basically something really similar. Yeah,
that we've had that one before. I don't know if it had the jalapenos on it, but it had the spicy cheese on it.
Yeah, I do remember the spicy cheese. So.
I don't know about the garlic
red
teriyaki.
Garlic.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't even know if I want to try. We were just talking. I just said how I don't like the teriyaki stuff because it's really messy.
I don't like it because it doesn't come with a meat patty. It comes with like a sausage. So it's like a teriyaki sauce on sausage. Teriyaki sauce on like a sausage patty. And there's like bacon on it. I don't think I want to do that. And garlic sauce. But that triple cheese.
It looks good, doesn't it?
That one looks good. I'm not sure what's spicy about it.
So that starts from the 22nd. So later this week you can start ordering this. So for me, I might have this on the weekend or something.
Yeah. I'll probably grab one on the weekend. This is interesting. This is actually from Shar Aznable. This is a Gundam collab.
The Gundam collab.
Yeah, he's running the shop. He's running the shop right now.
Yeah, I can see he's holding the cheeseburger. Yeah.
Yeah, his very own personal burgers. That's why it's the new type. I'm like, this sounds like some Eva stuff right here. New types? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, Gundam apparently.
Yo, let's go. Yeah, they have Zaku, some Zaku McFloats.
Can I just say one thing about floats in Japan is that they suck because they always put ice in it. I hate it so much. It's like the soft drink and then crushed ice and then ice cream. And I'm like, no, you idiots. How am I going to eat the ice cream if there's ice in here?
That's a very good point.
I hate it.
It's a very good point. It's not really a. It's not
It's
really.
so irritating. You have no idea how irritating it is to like want to eat the ice cream, but you take a spoonful of crushed ice as well. So I remember one time in McDonald's, I was like, "Can you not put the ice in there?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can, but your drink won't be to the top." I'm like, "I don't give a shit as long as there's no
It's
ice in
because
there."
the ice cream is literally supposed to get like kind of a little bit hard, and then like it just melts into it, and you just.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just a soft drink and ice cream. That's it. That's a float. It floats on the soft drink. That's why it's called a float. But like in Japan, oh my God, it doesn't in McDonald's or elsewhere, it doesn't matter. I mean, they always for some reason put crushed ice in there as well. And I'm like, no, like how are you going to eat the ice cream if you're chomping on ice?
Oh my
Anyways, sorry.
goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And maybe you can probably look at these tomorrow on your stream. And if you aren't following Alex on Twitch, Route 24, streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time. It does usually close out the stream with some fast food. They
With
got some
food, I
videos.
always, yeah.
They got a television. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Commercials.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to look at
He's
those.
gonna be.
Can't wait to look at those, yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I guess that'll pretty much do it for us this week. Like I said, I am at NinjaTrix on Twitch. That's NinjaTrix. Currently playing Alien Isolation. Almost at the end of that game. Almost. I'm still having a lot of fun. I actually really am enjoying Isolation.
Yeah, it's good.
Ni no Kuni is just strange.
Mm.
It's good but strange. We're going into someone's guts to get their kids out of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common problem, I would say.
That's common. Got to unclog the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Sorry. Yeah.
Unclog the kids. Anything you want? Anything you got in closing?
No, I don't. I don't know. Come follow me on Twitch, I guess. That's it.
There we go. All right. Well, we will see you next week. Follow us on Twitter at UGP_cast. And that's it. You set the game. Go play some games. Wait, what? You set the tone. Go play some games.
You set the game. Go play some games. Yeah. All right. Peace.
The kids are clogging me. Peace. Get out of here, kids. Actually, stay here, kids. Wait, what? I'm confused now. I'm confused. Burgers on the screen.